Hey guys, welcome back. This is ChosenArchitect, and today we're going to be fully automating, that's right, our Overclocker upgrades. So, I hope you guys are ready. So, I've been working on a little bit more automation, and as you can see, I have some energy condensers set up, I have another crafter, and then this guy over here. I wanted to kind of separate this so we have a two-step process, and we can speed this up as we go. So, we have this that is maxed out on upgrades. If we put any more up here, it will not go any faster. It'll start consuming more power than it can actually bring in. And that's just because it's limited. We can upgrade this machine, and we can upgrade its capacity so that way we can upgrade the back box. But we'll worry about that a little bit later. This right here is actually going way fast enough. It has no issues at all. As you can see, the speed of it is keeping up with that. As long as this is keeping up, it's fine. But let's move on over here to this tier 3 crafter. This is where I've been putting in a bunch of work. So I have a roost with 16 emerald chickens in here, just kind of producing as it goes. And it's supplying these this 5 energy condensers. Each one of these have individual items in it that we're going to actually need. The thing is, I'm just basically waiting right now for these kind of things to build up. I'm probably going to use my acceleration wand just to kind of boost the amount of emeralds that are in here, just so we can get each one of these kind of filling up to kind of supply our automation. Once these chests max out and fill up, then we won't have to worry about it anymore. There's going to be more than enough emeralds going in here. Like, I think there's more than enough EMC built up in here to that once this just fills up, we'll be good to go. And so, each one of these components are going to be necessary. So, I have in here 3 different steps that it's going to take in order for us to build the actual overclocker upgrades that we were set out to automate last episode. So, we now have our 60k coolant cells, and we have a bunch of them. These are just built up. So here's our 60k coolant cells. They've just built up from the time that we've been offline. And so, with this being built up, you can see here, these are going to be the items that we're going to need in here that are going to be required in order to make this possible. The only thing that I'm worried about not working is the cutters, because each one of these is assigned. As you can see, there's roosts here kind of blocking off all the other spots. You can hit that remember the current items after you set this in here so that you don't have overflow. Well, I'm kind of concerned that these cutters, whenever they have uses left, that they will not go back in this slot like they're supposed to. That's the only thing that I'm kind of worried about. And hopefully they go out. If not, we'll have to have a setup so that way when they're exported, the item will actually be thrown in here, and we can just trash them. There's honestly, if it does a couple uses, we'll just trash them, and they're being EMC'd anyways, so I'm not too concerned about that. So that's my only issue that I think might happen once I get this finally hooked up and turned on. So the only items I need to EMC are the cutters, the copper plates, the plastic, the redstone, and the iron plates. And these are coming from this side over here. And we'll just run a cable across, and that should be everything ready to go. So as you can see, each one of these have their EMC ready to go. This is now filled up, so it should be working on the copper plates. And like I said, once this is filled up, we shouldn't have to worry about it. What I'm going to do is actually take some emeralds just to jumpstart all this. And I'm going to put emeralds in each one of these just to kind of jumpstart the production of everything. We have tons of EMC, so might as well get that going. So, all we need to do now is get this cabling hooked up. So, all I got to do is kind of move this over here. And what we're going to do is set a specific channel here. This insert needs to be on a different channel. Right now, we should have only certain channels going through here. So, let's make sure this set to extract. And make sure we set this, I'm going to set this to a blue channel, just to be different. And then over here, we're going to make sure the insert channel is blue as well. Turn that off, make sure insert is on. So now our extracted items that are in this slot should, and I should be very specific so we don't extract other things. Let's go in here and we'll get a filter. And we'll just be very specific on what exactly is being extracted, even though technically there's no room for anything else to be extracted over here. I'm going to be very specific and say only the 60k coolant cells can be extracted. And so we should see 60k coolant cells build up over here. Perfect. So this is just about ready to go, right? I mean, we have everything here. so this should start working. So we need to kind of figure out what exactly needs to take place in order to produce these final overclocker upgrades, right? I mean, this thing should be ready to go. The only thing, like I said, I'm worried about is... Oh, you know what we didn't actually set up the thing for? How to make copper cables. So as soon as I tell it how to make copper cables, this thing should work, right? So let's go ahead and do that. We'll tell it this is how the copper cables are made. Make sure this goes into internal. We hit apply. And things should start happening, hopefully. I don't know what the filter thing is for, unless that's part of RF tools. Let's take a look. We do have this filter. Filter module, storage block, buffer area scanner. Make sure the block only accepts certain types of items. So, yeah, that's nothing I don't think we have to worry about. So let's kind of look here and figure out if I missed anything. We'll take a look at the overclocker upgrades. So this is what we're working towards. So 60K coolant cells, right? And we need the electric circuit. So also, we have the electric circuit. We have the copper cables. So copper cables being made. We need to tell them how to cover the copper cables. Do we have that? We do, right here. So let's go all the way back to the beginning. We're telling it to cut the copper. We're telling it to make the insulated cables. Then we're telling it to make the circuits right here. And so overall, it should do this. So our redstone mode is on. I don't know why this is not actually crafting like it's supposed to. That's very weird. This actually should be crafting everything we tell it to make. Is it lacking on the iron plates? We have tons of iron plates. And, oh, I know one thing we need. Now that I forget. This needs to be hooked in. And then we need to make sure this is on the insert on brown. And everything needs to be in here. And everything you can see building up. I'm really thinking that these these cutters are not going to do the trick. I think that this is the issue. We may have to use a metal former. Something about this is not wanting to work. The copper cutters for this is not wanting to complete that craft. And I think it's got something to do with this cutter. Let's put this to external. And now it will work. So, here's what we're going to have to do. We're going to have to round robin this back in. Alright. Unfortunately. Right? We'll set this to extract on the blue channel. And then we're going to set this. So you trash. Get a trash can. This is going to route the blue items to get a filter. This is going to have an insert filter of 2 separate items. One being the coolant, and the other one being the copper cables. That should be pulling the cables back out. If this is set correctly, always active. Okay, and and what we need now is the actual cutters to be pulled out. So with the cutters being pulled out, let's go ahead and figure out a way of doing that pretty easy. What we can probably do is use this as another extract point, and we'll just change the color. I know this is kind of getting kind of crazy here, but believe me, this will work. Let's open this up. On the insert, we'll set this to purple. Turn off extract, we don't need that. But over here, we do need to extract something. It'll be basically extracting on a filter this single-use item. Now, I think that this might do the same thing with the, oh, what's it called? The bucket thing, but I think it's going to be faster for us just to do it this way. Just kind of forget the fact that these are being made. These are easy to make, very cheap, so That's not a very big deal. Let's set this to purple. Extract. Set the filter. And it'll be this used thing. We'll do match metadata, ignore metadata. That's what we need it to be on, is ignore metadata. Always active. And we should start seeing this happen. There we go. So this will continue until this hopefully stops. As you can see, these are going to start building up now, unfortunately. We need some way of voiding these off. There's no way this is going to be able to continue like this. Huh. Because this isn't even allowing it to produce the next step. So what I think needs to happen is we need to make a metal former. This is going to be something we're definitely going to have. I'm going to go ahead and take these coils, or the copper cable. It's going to be very useful. So let's go ahead and just make these. Yeah. This is going to change the way this automation works and should definitely function properly now. Let's go ahead and throw these cables in here. There we go. There's our 3 coils that we need for this. The toolboxes require bronze. I don't know how much bronze we actually have. I think we have enough for our forge hammer. Let's turn this into plates. And our plates get turned into casings. That should allow us to make those. Good old-fashioned toolboxes. And then we need electronic circuit, which I think we have enough of, maybe not. Now we do. And we'll grab that and hopefully get ourselves a metal former. There we go. All right, so the metal former, it's going to have to go in a certain place. I'm going to go ahead and place it here. And that's just because of how we're going to set up the automation for this. I'm also going to route a cable over here into an energy condenser. The energy condenser is going to go right there. And this is just going to make life a little bit easier for us. Let's continue to hook into this roost. Always active. And insert. Awesome. And what we're going to tell it to do is take copper plates, because if we put copper plates in here, or put copper in here, I guess, it doesn't take copper plates. We put copper in here, the copper will then get turned into that via the extruding. But we do need to give this some power, so to do that, I have another bat box. I think I can hook the bat box directly to this. Like that. And I think if we put our node, or a point, directly on this thing, should give this power as well, right? Or not. Or it still needs power via... Okay. Maybe it doesn't work that way, but that's okay. Let's break this the right way, so I don't waste it. And then we'll set this up a little bit better. I think I can also place this facing upward. This needs to not be there. Let's not do that either. What am I doing? Place this the other way. We need this on here. There we go. That gives us some power. And then we'll place this connecting to that. Will that give it some power? It says 6. So maybe that doesn't work that way. Oh, that's right, because it needs to be facing this way. There we go. That's right, because that can be facing any direction. What am I talking about? So as you can see, that's extruding. Now, it's on its own power system. And what we're going to do is feed it from the top. Always active. Insert. And this should work. This should work. Down here, we're going to use our Yeta wrench. Remember, you shift and then you left click on here. You can select the side, as you can see right here. So the up says invalid, but it does have a UI here. And we're going to be extracting, always active. I do believe, wait, this needs to still be on insert. We are connecting to a different block here. Right. So the up, we're going to be pushing items into this, so The extract still needs to be on purple channel. And then this does not need to be on insert. And there we go. So that should technically work, right? Oh, it needs to be on the blue channel. Sorry, not the purple channel. Blue channel. Blue channel. There we go. So those items should pull into here. And the cutter should no longer need to be here. That is an invalid spot, so... Oh well, we should start seeing this number go up, hopefully. As soon as we tell this we want to make copper. Right, we should watch this, wait for this to kind of do its thing. I'm going to take the overclocker upgrade out of here, throw it in this machine. We'll make it a little bit faster. Let's watch this number. There it goes. It went up. Awesome. So now we need to figure out why is this not working for everything else, right? Insulate. Oh, this is why. Because we need this to not be rubber, by the way. This needs to be set to plastic. And then we can hit apply. And as you can see, now that works. Now we need to go to our electronic circuit and figure out why this is not working. So in order for this to work, for us to have the electronic circuit, we need a slot for it to accept electronic circuits, right? And so we actually need an electronic circuit. Let's go ahead and make one. So good old-fashioned electronic circuit. Let's make that. And we need to give it space inside this crafter, so let's forget where everything goes. And we'll do this. We got to be careful. I want to stop this. Ignore. Oh boy. Let's set this to redstone on activated. On to activate. Okay. Let's fill this the rest of the way up so we don't get more, even more items spilling in here. Because that's what's going to happen. Let's take care of all these different items that are building up in here. Because this is just going to keep pulling from wherever. Got a whole mess of stuff. Let's turn the insert to a different channel. There we go. So now that should stop the items from flowing in. So we need a very specific set of items in here. That being copper coils. We need plastic. We need these. We don't need copper plates, I don't believe. Copper plates no longer need to be in here. Oh man, this just happens to be just a huge mess that just happened. But that's okay. That's why I try to configure this before I turn anything on. And we'll just try and get all of this pulled out of here as best we can. These should be stacked. Alright, so we have copper cable, iron plates, plastic, this, redstone. We already have the iron plates in list. We need one more of these. Otherwise their setup will not work. And there we go. That's ready to go. I think that's everything. Let's make sure. Plastic, copper cables. Check. Insulated cables. Check. Redstone, check. Iron plates, check. Coolant cells, check. Electronic circuits, check. Insulated, check. Output, overclocker upgrades. We should be ready to go. Let's remember this set. And we can pull these items out. Now, this thing, let's turn it on. Make sure we know what channel this is going to, right? It's going to insert brown. And then, we should be good. All of these are ready to go. That's ready to go. That's still doing its thing. Make sure this is empty. Okay, good. Okay. So, that should be it. What are we missing here, though? I'm kind of confused. Oh, because we don't have this set to on to activate. We need to set this to ignored. And there we go. There's our overclocker upgrades. Insane setup, I know. Don't get me wrong. I know. Let's now take a drawer. I can't believe I never saved the drawer setup. I never saved this drawer to my EMC tablet. I should feel ashamed. But anyways, now what we can do is, I know this is kind of crazy. It's on this other side. Is take this. We need to click this area, go to up, turn that off. Right click on this, click the west side. We're going to extract to, what is it, light gray, always active on the light gray channel. And then, of course, we'll turn this off and we'll set this to insert on the light gray channel. And there's our overclockers. So this whole setup, just to produce overclockers, that 16 of them only get us $10. So what do you think is better? This setup for money, or this experience setup for money? All of which are incredibly good. This one especially, this one's a really good setup, except for the fact that, of course, there is some issues with lag that you can potentially cause or break or corrupt your world. This one is by far the easiest and the fastest. And then we have this one, which makes you the most, but not necessarily the fastest. You would have to have a pretty large scale roost setup in order to get this to go any faster. But all in all, we are setting up some automation for some really cool things. And I know that this may seem really ridiculous. And there's probably an easier way to do this, but this is just coming up off the top of my head. And you can see exactly how my brain works. My brain just goes, all right, well, this is how this could work. This is how this could work. Thank you, Ender.io, for being so fabulous on your connectors. I'm so glad Ender.io is back in 1.12. It's so happy. Makes me super happy. Let's take some of these overclockers, by the way. And let's get this as upgraded as we possibly can. I think 5? Yeah, it's too many. 4 is the max for most machines. And for this machine, it looks like 3. 2. 2 is the max at this scale that we can do. But 2 is still pretty fast. It's going to be faster than this again all set up. Of course, we can speed any of these things up. I'll throw a couple in there. Actually, probably put 4 in there. You can see the IC2 coolant is actually full for some reason on this side. I'm trying to figure out what exactly are we losing out on over here. The IC2 coolant, right? Okay. We're missing 10 plates. Why? Oh, did my extract get messed up over here? Oh, this never got set to insert. Oh, that also needs to be set to extract, doesn't it? But it needs to be set to... This is supposed to round robin, I thought. Is it not? Didn't I have a filter on here? Yeah, I do. Oh yeah, this is supposed to be extract on, like, we'll do gray. Insert on gray. There we go. Now it's doing its thing like it's supposed to. So, now we're back in business. Just had to fix a few things that I broke. Yeah, as you can see, this actually is losing out on power. Way losing out on power. It's way more than this can handle. Even 1. Yeah, 1 is way too much. That's okay. But this is doing exactly what we wanted to do. This is producing overclocker upgrades. Something that a lot of people don't actually like to make. But, as you can see, we can automate them with EMC. Pretty easy. So, if you guys enjoyed this episode, I know it was kind of crazy. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. If you didn't like it, you don't have to give the video a thumbs up. You know, it's up to you. But if you liked it, don't forget to click that subscribe button if you haven't already. And also give this video a thumbs up, guys. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. And as always, thanks for watching.